Today is Fresh Kick Friday. Mr. Ricciero has on his Air Max 1 in a Seattle Mariners colorway. This particular sneaker is very much designed around the uniforms that the Seattle Mariners wore in the mid-90s. The Seattle Mariners had some really, really good teams in the mid-90s. They never won a World Series, but they got very close. They had guys like Alex Rodriguez when he was very young, and this up-and-coming all-star shortstop. They had one of the best swings in baseball in Ken Griffey Jr. I have a plaque of Ken Griffey Jr. on the side of my room over there. I am a huge Ken Griffey fan. Even though I am a New York Yankees fan, Ken Griffey had the most beautiful swing I have ever seen in all of my years of watching baseball. For those of you that are baseball fans, maybe you know who Ken Griffey Jr. is. His father actually played in Major League Baseball as well. I think Ken Griffey is one of the best batters, best home run hitters, most beautiful swings you will ever see in Major League Baseball history. Now, sadly, after a great start to his career, he was curtailed a little bit by injuries. He played in the outfield, which sometimes, outfielders diving for balls and ramming up against the walls and things like that can take a toll on the body. I think he would have had even more home runs than he did for his career had he been able to stay healthier. One of my favorite Ken Griffey stories is I was actually at a New York Yankees game against the Cincinnati Reds when Ken Griffey Jr. played for the Cincinnati Reds. And we were sitting just a few rows off the field. My uncle Mario, my dad's brother, he worked for Pepsi. And every summer, my Uncle Mario would give me what were called the Pepsi tickets. So Pepsi had season tickets to Yankee Stadium, 4 seats, 3 rows behind the third base dugout. And every summer I would call my Uncle Mario and say, hey, can I get the Pepsi tickets for a game? And he'd say, yes, if you go, stay with your grandma. And I'm like, of course, 100%. Because as I've told you guys, my grandma lived 15 minutes from Yankee Stadium, where my father, my Uncle Mario, my Uncle Mike all grew up. And so every summer I'd call up 3 friends and I'd say, hey, we're going to grandma's house. And then we're going to Yankee Stadium. We're going to the game. We're getting the Pepsi seats. And, we'd be all excited. And so they're playing the Cincinnati Reds one summer. And Ken Griffey Jr. is like right there. I mean, he's right in front of us. He's standing outside of the dugout. He is within earshot. And we're, Ken Griffey, just give us a wave, give us a shout out. Nothing. Would not move. My buddy Todd actually had on a pair of Ken Griffey sneakers. And he's like, hold this. He's like, I got your sneakers on. Like, come on, Ken, give me something. Nothing. Would not turn, would not. I mean, he was as just locked in and focused on the game as could possibly be. Now, it was really neat. Another player for the Reds at the time was a guy named Brandon Phillips, who actually played for the Harrisburg Senators as he was working his way up to the major leagues. And so when we saw him, we kind of called out, hey, Brandon Phillips, what do you know about the Harrisburg Senators? And immediately he turned and was like, what? And we're like, yeah, we're from Harrisburg. And so it was kind of neat. We got a little banter with him. But anytime I wear this jersey, I think about that time that, hey, I got to be, that close to one of the greatest hitters in Major League Baseball history. It's also February, Black History Month. In my opinion, Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the greatest African-American players to ever play in the major leagues. And so for all of those reasons, I thought today was the perfect day to break out this Ken Griffey Jr. jersey with the shoes to match. Spring training has commenced down in Florida, where the weather is beautiful, by the way. It's 75 degrees and sunny in beautiful sunny Florida, whereas it's 20 degrees and flurrying here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. But whenever I hear that spring training is starting, it's a reminder to me that, hey, the weather's going to start getting warmer soon. Spring is near. Ultimately, summer is near. Before you know it, we're going to be outside in T-shirts and shorts at the stadiums, whether it's the Phillies, the Orioles, the Harrisburg Senators, enjoying the beautiful weather and enjoying one of America's favorite pastimes, that being the sport of baseball.